Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. So as you can see, today I will share my thoughts about a very popular fragrance from Lattafa that lately got quite a lot of hype on YouTube and on Instagram as well. The fragrance I'm talking about, I'm sure you can tell, it's Khamrah by Lattafa. I recently added this fragrance into my collection for I think I've had this since the end of August. So I had a few weeks time to test it, to play with it, to test it in different scenarios, and here am I today sharing my thoughts about this. So this will be an in-depth review, guys, so bear with me. The video will be a little bit longer, but I want to touch upon how it smells. I want to touch upon fragrances with a similar DNA to this one, and then at the end I will let you know some layering ideas if you want to layer this fragrance with something in your collection. Here is the fragrance, but before I actually start talking about the fragrance, let me give credit to Tope's channel, Top Notes by Tope. I will link her review of the fragrance below. Her review really sparked my interest of this fragrance, and then I've seen Ade's video on this one. I will link Ade's video again down below. And then someone, I think a day or two later, left me a comment and asked me if I did get a chance to try this one, because they didn't buy it and now it's out of stock everywhere and it smells amazing. So I was like, is this a sign to get it and to test it? So I took it as a sign, so I took that as a sign, and here am I with Khamrah today. I usually don't talk about packaging a lot in my videos, but for this one, guys, I have to touch upon the packaging and the presentation because it is 10 out of 10. Honestly, I think Lattafa outdid themselves, and I think they're going through a rebranding or something, because I've seen even their newer collections. I will insert some pictures here. They're definitely stepping up their game and their price as well. This, I think, it's a little bit more expensive than the average price Lattafa, So yes, here is the beautiful box that the fragrance comes in. I mean, such a beautiful box, so many attention to details. Here you have the Lattafa logo, guys. Here is, guys, how this one looks. I don't want to blind you with my lights, but it's very beautiful. And the fragrance sits right in that one. No, my fragrance, guys, actually came with a chip. You can see it in the close-up, but besides that, I think nothing wrong with it, Oh, and also something before I actually start the video, guys. The cap. I don't know, guys, I'm a woman, okay, but I have some force in me, but honestly, the cap of this fragrance, sometimes it just doesn't want to come off. Now I think, yeah, now it just came off really easily, but the first time I tried to take the cap off, oh my god, I felt like it was stuck, and I kept pulling and pulling. Somehow I managed to take it out, but again, keep this in mind, the cap, a little bit tricky. So let's talk about the notes of this fragrance, let's talk about how it smells, and let's talk about the feeling that it gives me. So notes wise, I will not read you the notes, I will insert them somewhere over here, but let me just tell you, I'm very happy to have this fragrance in my collection, and I think for the price that this one has, I don't know where you live and the price that you will pay for this one, but it's still an affordable fragrance, it's not it's still an affordable fragrance. And for the price that it has, guys, it smells so unique. I know that it's supposed to dupe Angel Share by Killian. I have not tried that fragrance, so I will only share my thoughts about Khamrah on its own. But this fragrance on its own, it smells delicious, guys. It smells cozy. It smells I don't know, autumn in a bottle, So basically, the best way to describe this one. Okay, so hear me out. Imagine you have a glass of warm apple juice. So you have the warmth of the apple juice. You have the sweet but crisp and sharp sweetness of the apple, of the apple juice. Then you add in that glass 3 to 4 cinnamon sticks. You stir it really well, and then you add there a dash, but a little bit of cognac, or some booze, but cognac. So you have this sweet, spicy and slightly woody touch from the cinnamon. You have the density and the warmth of the boozy touch. I think this smells delicious. I think this smells it smells unique. It's gorgeous, guys. It's very spicy, and the booze here, guys, it's only a little bit. Don't expect this one to be, you're not gonna smell like booze if you wear the fragrance, you're not gonna smell like alcohol, but it has this a booziness to it. Yes, it's beautiful, guys. Generally, if you close your eyes and you imagine you have a glass of warm apple juice, and you put there a few cinnamon sticks, and you add a dash of booze, and you smell it, after you give it a good stir and you smell it, this to me is pretty much how this fragrance smells in the opening part. Did I just film half a video without the microphone actually connected? Yes, I did. I hope the sound is better now, guys, hopefully. So yes, what I was telling you, Oh, let me actually show you the sprayer if I'm still spraying the fragrance. Yeah, the sprayer is nice, but it's not the best, you know, but it's nice. It's not weird or anything. Now, yeah, this vibe, you get it in the opening, the warm apple juice. Now, they have not listed apple, but when I smell it from the nozzle, the first thing I smell, McDonald's apple juice. If you've ever drank, let's say, McDonald's apple juice when you were a kid, this is the first thing that it reminded me of, or any like artificial apple juice, you know, not the homemade one, like the artificial store-bought one, you know. Yeah, this is how it smells. Yeah. Oh my god, this fragrance is so beautiful, guys, and it's so cozy, and it's so like perfect for this like transitional season between like late summer, early autumn, even winter, you know. But yes, back to how this fragrance smells. What I have noticed is that this fragrance has two types of sweetness to it. First, in the opening, you get that like warm apple juice sort of sweetness that's like sweet, but also like a tinge, like a tiny little bit crisp and sharp. Not sharp, I think crisp. I don't know, guys, I'm not really good with explaining like this in English, but like I'm sure if you've smelled apple juice, you know what I'm talking about. Then it has this like sticky sweet vibe that you get, like warm, dense, sticky sweet vibe that you get in the background, that I guess it could come from dates, you know. Now, like I said, don't get me wrong, it doesn't smell like straight up dates, but it has this like sticky sweet vibe in the background. Something very interesting I've noticed while I was testing this fragrance. When you smell it really close to the skin, I don't get that apple juice vibe. When I smell it in the air and when I smell it further away from my skin, I get that vibe. So I would say this, depending on where you smell it and how you smell it, you will get like different nuances in it. Now, I think the magic with this fragrance honestly is in the opening part and in the few hours into wearing this fragrance. That is the time when it's the most coziest, warmest, sweetest, spiciest, booziest, you know. I think definitely that's the part where it will you will smell it and it could have like a wow effect on you, you know. Now, this one in the dry down, in like the last bit of the dry down, forget the apple juice with the few cinnamon sticks and everything. To me, in the dry down, this smells like dry, soft, dry woody accords, something wrong that's enveloping them, like a resin or something, and the smell of myrrh, but like soft myrrh, and you still have some of the spiciness that you once had in the opening, but now it's very toned down. Still smells good, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it from the moment I apply it till the dry down, but definitely the wow factor is in the opening with this one and in the first few hours of wearing it. But still, guys, again, for the price and for how affordable this fragrance is and for how beautiful it is and the packaging and everything, I think it's worth it. Something else I wanted to mention, and I'm glad I didn't forget it. The first time I smelled it, like the first spray I did out of the bottle, the first ever spray, honestly it smelled a little bit like paint thinner. But I only got that vibe then. Now I don't get that vibe anymore, but I just wanted to let you know, if you buy it and you experience something similar to me, just like give it a few days and I'm telling you, you will not have a problem with this one after. So yes, let's quickly go through the performance and all the other categories. Performance factor, guys, in all honesty, it's good, but it's not a beast mode, at least to me. And when I mean beast mode, I mean something like, let's say, Arabian Stonka or Red Tobacco from Massera and Montal, you know, those sort of fragrances. Now, it doesn't perform like those, you know, but, and then again, it doesn't disappear after like an hour, you know. So the performance factor, I think it's decent for this one. On my skin, I got around 5 hours. On clothes, it does actually last for a full day. In your hair, it lasts for days. So if you spray this one in your hair will smell like this for days, you know. Longevity wise, on me it's not the best, but I feel like when you wear it, like in the first 2 to 3 hours, like people, everywhere you go, people will smell it on you. So it leaves a beautiful sillage and it has a good projection, I would say. Now, it's not a room filler, you know, it's not like you walk into the mall and the whole mall will smell you. But I feel like when people come closer to you, they will definitely smell it on you. And not only that, guys, but like, I've actually tested this fragrance on my partner as well to see how it smells on a man's skin, you know, and how it performs on a man's skin. And let me just tell you that every time that I smelled him, I kept telling him how delicious and how good he smelled, you know. Yeah, as a man, it is a little bit on the sweeter side. So if you don't like really sweet fragrances, you might have an issue with this one, but I will give you some layering tips later so that it will tone down a little bit the sweetness. I think if you want to test this fragrance, this is the perfect time to test it. If you are starting to get into the autumn season, to me this smells like autumn in a bottle. Like if you have Sultan Noir by Pascal Morabito, just so you know, I would say it's the closest in my collection that I can associate it with, but they are very different scent-wise. I think Khamrah by Lattafa is definitely much more easier to wear, easier to enjoy. It doesn't have any like challenging notes, you know. Sultan Noir has some leathery, incensey, woody accords in the base. This one doesn't have them. Now, this one is just your apple, like your warm apple mixed with like a sweet, spicy cinnamon that's like slightly woody as well. You have here some resins that give a lot of richness to the base, you know, and a lot of depth and complexity to it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I get. And like I said, in the dry down, those woody accords that I was telling you about. To me, this could easily be your all year round fragrance. I will wear this one in the summertime as well. I feel like in the winter you might have to overspray like a little bit more, you know, to last and to have the performance that you desire maybe, but besides that I don't think you will have an issue. I would feel the need to reapply it after 5 hours. I could wear it in the summer, you know, I could wear it in the colder months, warmer months. Because of the notes, I just think it smells delicious. It smells resiny, sweet, vanillic, ambery, slightly boozy and very spicy, you know. So this DNA to me, it's working all year round, you know. I don't keep it only for colder times, but I do like heavier fragrances, so keep this in mind. So yes guys, now when it comes to genders, to me again this is a perfect unisex. I smell this one on me, I think it smells delicious. I smell this one on my partner, I think it smells absolutely delicious. So if you're a man and you like sweet spicy fragrances and you're looking to add something affordable to your collection, feel free to check this one out. I don't think you will be disappointed. So yes, if you're a man and let's just say you are worried about a sweetness factor, let me actually give you some layering tips. But actually these tips are for everyone, not just for men. So yes, when it comes to layering, I don't think you need to layer this fragrance. I think it smells amazing on its own. I think it shines enough on its own. But if you would like, let's say, to experiment with some layering combos, then the first fragrance I would advise you to layer this one with is none other than Majd Al Sultan by Asdaf. Those fragrances, these two fragrances, they smell like they melt into one another. You can tell where one begins and where the other one ends, and I feel like that's a quality about Majd Al Sultan that this is why it's one of my most used fragrances when it comes to layering, because it has this quality to like melt within the other fragrance, you know. So it doesn't smell like two fragrances you've stacked upon, you know. It smells like a whole new fragrance. Now, how do these two fragrances together smell like? Imagine the scent of these two like the more grown-up version of Khamrah, you know. Like if Khamrah on its own, it's like this like cozy, sweet, inviting, warming up sort of fragrance. If you layer this one with Majd Al Sultan, it's the more, let's just say, sophisticated and the more serious fragrance, still within the same scent family. I use one spray of Majd Al Sultan on my skin, and I do two sprays of Khamrah on top of Majd Al Sultan, and then again repeat the same wherever you spray your fragrances, you know. But yes, these two basically, you still have the beautiful scent of Khamrah by Lattafa, but you just have this more darker, not darker, but more denser, deeper, more complex, more rich base, you know. The resinous part is more amplified now. I feel like you have the sweet word that you already had in Khamrah. Now it's even more amplified, you know. It's almost like you feel the density of the resinous touches when you layer these two together, you know. So I think these two is a combo. It's a combo that you should try. By the way, if you have these two in your collection, try to layer them, see if you enjoy it or not. Now, another layering combo that I really enjoyed, this is for the ladies who want to, let's just say that it's too spicy for you and it's too heavy on the apple touch, even though this is something that I personally love about Khamrah, you know, the spicy apple touch. Then you could layer it with Golden Sand by Al Rihab, and that would just like amplify the sweetness and the vanillic aspect of the fragrance. Also, you will not get those woody nuances in the background and the more vibe. It basically, I feel like the vanilla will overpower those, you know. So another layering combo that I would advise you to check out if you have these two fragrances in your collection. Try to layer Khamrah by Lattafa with Kite by Lattafa. Both are spicy fragrances. I feel like these two amplify the spiciness, like these two layers just amplify the spicy quality about both. This one Kite is a cardamom bomb, this one is a cinnamon bomb, so together you have a spice bomb, you know. But keep in mind, Kite will overpower this one from Lattafa, the other one from Lattafa. But like just as like a guideline, I think if you want to layer this one, I think it will work really well with other sweet, smoky fragrances or like sweet, smoky, incensey fragrances, other like ambery, resinous fragrances, these sort of scent families, you know. Those were my thoughts about this fragrance. If you've tried it, what do you think about it? Do you enjoy it? Do you think it's worth the hype? Do you find it unique? Did it surprise you? Did it disappoint you? I would love to read your thoughts about this one down below, and I would love to hear your experience with the fragrance. As a conclusion, at least in my opinion, I think it's totally worth it. I think the hype for this one is real. And now my piece of advice to you would be don't blind buy or don't buy this one looking for a spot on dupe of Angel Share. Treat this fragrance as a standalone fragrance, and I think that's when you will be able to appreciate its beauty the most. I don't think it's a heavy fragrance, I don't think it's a challenging fragrance, but please keep in mind the kind of fragrances that I like in general. For me, this fragrance will be an easy reach fragrance. For me, this fragrance will be a fragrance that like I don't have to think twice about wearing it, you know. I actually think a lot of people will ask you about this fragrance if you are wearing it because it smells so unique, you know. I think Lattafa did an amazing job with this fragrance. I'm happy to have it in my collection. I would recommend you to check it out. Like if you've wanted to try it for the longest time, buy it. Keep in mind, at least for me, it's not a beast mode. For me, it's an easy reach sort of fragrance, but it's a beautiful, warm, sweet, spicy fragrance. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of hugs, a lot of positive energy. And yes guys, thank you for watching, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye. Mwah.